Jeff Hardy returns to AEW. Plus, there were multiple stars making comebacks on last night's Dynamite. We'll go through them. And the real reason for Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania Backlash. It's all in the wrestling news right now. He's back. There is the dance.
There was no dance last night. Well, he didn't come out like he did last time. Do you remember when he debuted and Matt was getting beaten up? And he was just there, just having a fantastic time.
Sadly, not this time. He learned his lesson from last time and didn't do the dance. Instead, went for the rescue. Jeff Hardy back in AEW, Andrew.
Yeah, absolutely. Quite a surprising thing as well, I suppose, after we were speaking on Monday, weren't we, about what Matt Hardy was talking about in his podcast.
Yes.
Saying like maybe 5-6 weeks from now or whatever. And so it was a big surprise. So yeah, for the first time since his DUI last year, Jeff Hardy has appeared on AEW. Jeff rushed to the ring to save his brother Matt from an attack by the Firm. All the Firm stuff is starting to unravel now. Armed with a customized steel chair, Jeff sent Ethan Page and Big Bill packing before hitting Lee Moriarty with a swanton bomb. He took his top off as well, looking like in good shape as well. He's looking in good shape.
Good nick is Jeff.
So yeah, Jeff was suspended by AEW last June as a result of his DUI arrest in Florida. At the time, AEW said a return for Jeff would only be considered after he successfully completed and maintained sobriety treatment. He entered a no contest plea back in February for the charges and was sentenced to 38 days in jail, which he has already served. 2 years of probation, 10 years driving suspension, a court-mandated DUI program, and community service.
So there have been a few hints dropped over the past week or so. Matt Hardy on the podcast, and of course he was chatting as well on YouTube about this as well, saying that Jeff's had some work done on his eye and he's in great shape and he's excited to hopefully see him come back. And well, here he is. And it's a real mixed vibe with Jeff coming back. It's I wouldn't say it's an element of bittersweet. There's a cautiousness there because we've danced this dance a few times and all we want is good for people. You're a weird sort if you don't. And all we want is for Jeff to be right. And I hope that since what we've seen over the past decade or so, I hope that the right people are keeping an eye on Jeff Hardy. I hope that the schedule isn't going to be too rigorous. I hope that he's going to be surrounded by the right people, because this really should be the last chance, really.
No, absolutely. I think,
and that's not me being horrible. It's more for Jeff Hardy's well-being. And
and I think that is the main thing. I think you've hit everything on the head there. I mean, the crowd absolutely loved it. It was a huge surprise. I think the crowd were quite sort of subdued. That's the word I was looking for. Subdued before with all the Firm stuff. It's been going on for a while, and it's starting to feel a little bit like, can we move further? So the crowd was quite subdued. And then when Jeff's music hit, man, the roof on the arena came off. It was very electric. So there's obviously a lot of people excited to see Jeff back, and rightfully so as well. But as you said, as long as he is happy and as long as he is healthy and he maintains this as well, I wish nothing but the best for Jeff and for Matt too, so they can finally have that final run together that they've been talking about for a long time.
Really want to make that happen. In terms of the short-term storyline future for Jeff Hardy, it feels as if Matt is coming away from the Firm. Thank goodness. There's something in place that's going to take Private Party away with him. I believe a match is being set up which should win Private Party's freedom. I wouldn't be shocked if we see maybe an 8-man tag at Double or Nothing, and that's perfect for Jeff, who's making his comeback, something that isn't going to be too strenuous with multiple other people in there. Just take it steady, Jeff.
Agreed.
That's all we say, just take it steady. He was one of many returns from last night's AEW Dynamite, was he? Who else came back?
Well, after a 3-week absence, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, returned last night on Dynamite to back up Kenny Omega in a brawl with the Blackpool Combat Club. So Moxley, Castagnoli and Yuta assaulted Elite members Michael Nakazawa and Brandon Cutler following Moxley and Castagnoli's win over them on Dynamite. This led to Omega heading out with it felt so good. It was nice. He had the music, the one, I can't remember what it's called, the one that we all like. The battle cry, that's it, the one that we all like. So yeah, Omega headed out, and whilst they were distracted, there was a sneak attack by the Bucks. They hit some super cupcakes to even the odds. And behind the scenes, Matt Jackson has been dealing with a partially torn biceps, which he hopes will be healed by Double or Nothing next month. It's feeling like AEW are starting to sort of stack and get everything ready for the summer ahead.
They are, yeah, because that's another multi-person match that I think we'll see play out at Double or Nothing, the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite. Which should be, I think it'll be an amazing match. They chuck all those guys in there together.
For sure. Yeah.
Phenomenal time being had. It's shaping up well. But they didn't end there. But wait, there's more.
There's more? How many are we talking? Are we talking maybe 10? Not that many, but perhaps
What
a certain
10
gimmick.
could you be pertaining to?
Oh, maybe it's someone by the name of Sean Spears. It was announced last night that Sean Spears will return to AEW after a prolonged absence tomorrow on Rampage, where he'll take on Jungle Jack Perry. This will be the first time Spears has been in an AEW ring since October last year. Wow, it's been that long. Wow.
It's been a while.
Spears addressed his return in a video intimating that once again once he gets flipping it, I'll get there. Once he gets past Jack Perry, he's coming for MJF. There's obviously stuff there with the Pinnacle, and yes, it looks like Spears has got his eyes set.
That's it. A big
Mr.
part of what he
Friedman
was saying was the fact that, since I've been away, the guy who broke up the gang I was in is now the top guy. We'll see how long that lasts. Once I get past Jungle Jack Perry, maybe I'll be knocking on your door, MJF. Obviously, Rampage has been recorded, and if you don't want to know how Sean Spears got on, look away now. There you go. Didn't end there.
No, he didn't.
But wait, there's more.
There is more. You mean the top member of the Spirit Squad came back onto our screens last night?
You got to explain this one.
Oh, I certainly do. Cheerleader Sting.
Is it another Sting?
It's another Sting. We all love the different variations.
Johnny, Mitch, Mickey, Nikki, Mikey, Sting.
Oh my goodness gracious me. Sting made his return last night after a few weeks away. He inserted himself into Darby Allin's issues with MJF. So after Darby Allin's match with Swerve Strickland, MJF comes out. Him and Darby start cutting some promos, and then here comes Sting. He squares up to the champion and says, "Stop talking about this Cody daycare stuff, okay?" Reacting to the shocked expression, everyone in the crowd's like,
Who said Cody?
"You said Cody." And Sting says, "I said Cody, didn't I?" "Oh, I said Cody." And the truth hurts, doesn't it, Max? Because you had a cheerleader, you had a support system in Cody, and I am a support system for Darby. And then the segment ended with Sting promising that Darby would become AEW World Champion.
But before the end of it, of course, we had Sting throwing pom-poms at MJF.
We did, which was the best. And it was like the TARDIS in his jacket. Like, they were just coming out of all sorts of jacket orifices. It was pretty incredible.
Cheerleader Sting from the people that brought you Joker Sting. I like that Joker Sting got a reference in his promo last night. He kind of went through the ages of Sting with Surfer Sting and referencing how Ric Flair was his support system, referencing Wolfpack Sting with shout out to Kevin Nash and Scott Hall.
Yeah.
We've got even a little nod of a Joker Sting, which is, I think, a woefully under-respected era of Sting's career.
It was an era, for sure. I didn't mind.
He had a match against Hogan that, according to many people, very much happened. Described by many as a match that happened in TNA/Impact Wrestling. A lot of returns from Dynamite last night. How did it grade? Why didn't you find out with Fraser Porter on the Cultaholic YouTube Shorts channel in a little bit? Let's end with a bit of WWE flavoured goodness. So Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes, whilst not officially been signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours, is coming up for WrestleMania Backlash. It's set to be part of WrestleMania Backlash anyway. PW Insider Elite say there's a reason why this match has been put onto what has historically been a B event.
Yes.
Historically, that's not a dig on Backlash. It's my favourite. Bring back the hooks, you cowards. Yes. But it's traditionally been just like a pay-per-view between pay-per-views. But this one, they wanted, PW Insider are saying that WWE wants to make this WrestleMania Backlash a marquee event. And that is why they are pulling out the big guns, i.e. Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes, probably your main event for the evening.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
And the reason they want to make this a marquee show is because they want to give this a big feel, because they are working with the Puerto Rico Tourism Board to make Puerto Rico a travel destination. So it's not dissimilar to what they did with Clash at the Castle in Cardiff.
Yeah.
How all the advertising promotion was focused around Cardiff, how they took over Cardiff for the weekend. Also not dissimilar to what they do with the shows in Saudi Arabia, where they throw a lot about the places in Jeddah and where the show comes from and the culture there. They're doing something similar with Puerto Rico. It's again another reason why Bad Bunny is going to be quite heavily involved in the show as well.
Yep.
It looks as if. And as well as getting Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, there is talk of potentially adding a six-man of the Bloodline versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn and Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of what Bloodline we get, it could be the Usos and Solo Sikoa, very likely, or it could be the Usos and Roman Reigns. I would probably say, depending, because they've got the big marquee match with Lesnar and Cody, they might leave Roman off this one.
That's what it feels like to me. I feel like that. I mean, if Roman's not going to be here, and typically he doesn't work the B shows anyway, if Roman's not going to be there, then you've got the two other biggest stars in the company of Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar being at, and Bad Bunny, sorry, being at the main event of this thing. So it does. It leads me to believe at least that Roman Reigns probably won't be featured, at least in a match at Backlash.
So Usos and Sikoa might be the way they go. But that's the reason why we're getting Lesnar and Cody at this show. Big marquee match for a marquee event for Puerto Rico.
Marky Mark.
Mark. For more wrestling news throughout the day, you can find the very latest at cultaholic.com. Keys.
Love you, bye.
Sting is a cheerleader.